Yes, guys, we heard the breaking news last night. Absolutely sensational. Unbelievable. Manchester City have been banned from the Champions League for the next 2 seasons, starting from the 2021 season, and also fined 30 million euros for serious breaches of UEFA's financial fair play regulations. Yes, guys, it's groundbreaking, unbelievable. I think it's a moment that nobody really expected. There's been talk for years about Man City's financial irregularities. We know how much they have pumped into the football club, into the playing staff, in transfer fees, wages over the last 12 years since they were taken over by the Abu Dhabi group back in 2008, and finally, as they say, the chickens have come home to roost. Some may say it's better late than never. Some may say it's been a long time coming. But it is what it is. Man City have been found guilty of serious breaches of financial fair play. Of course, we know financial fair play was brought in 2011. Man City probably feel that it was brought in as a response to their growing I won't say dominance at the time, but as they were moving towards the top table in the Premier League and in Europe. The reality is, financial fair play is there. The clubs, whether they agree or not, it's a prerequisite to compete in UEFA competitions. If you don't like it, then don't compete. If you don't agree with it, don't compete. If you don't adhere to it, as Man City have found out, you will not be competing in it. So we could get into the crux of it. They said that all the details will be revealed once the full process is complete. So that's once Man City appeal, which I'm 100% sure they will do. And once the whole process is complete, then we'll get the full details. But what we do know is that they have been found guilty of overstating their sponsorship revenue as a part of the break-even documents submitted to UEFA. So, of course, clubs over a certain period, a 3-year period, are allowed to lose a certain amount of money, but that money has to reduce year on year. Man City have already been fined by UEFA for financial fair play irregularities. They had a ban, I think it was in 2015-16, where they had to reduce the number of players in the Champions League squad. So this isn't the first time they've been done by UEFA. PSG, actually, it's funny because you would think with the amount of money they've spent in the transfers for Neymar and Mbappe, you think they must be very close, if not next, for some kind of breaches or ban if it does come into play. But yeah, Man City, they overstated their revenue, reported to UEFA, and what not only is that actually illegal when we're talking about accounting and finance in that regard, overstating your revenue, it's a tough one, because I guess legally speaking, where the money comes from, as long as the source is not an illegal source, that doesn't really matter. But overstating your revenue as a rule is against accounting standards. It's, as far as FFP goes, they're overstating their revenue, i.e. the source of that revenue. So what we do know is that in 2013, it all stems from emails that were sent internally between Man City and everyone that's involved, lawyers, etc. And those documents then being leaked, hacked into and then leaked. And UEFA obviously getting to grips with that and seeing it and having to obviously investigate. So one of the emails from the City Chief Financial Officer Jorge Chumillas. The email was headed cash flow, stated that Sheikh Mansour's own company, the Abu Dhabi United Group, will be paying 57 million as a contribution to the 2013-14 sponsorship fee, while only 8 million was Etihad's direct contribution. So we know, of course, they've got the naming rights for the stadium Etihad, and on their shirt, Man City are sponsored by the Etihad Group, and it was always suspected, I know I've spoken about it, but it was always suspected that Man City are getting these massive sponsorship deals, but they're not a massive club. For them to get a sponsorship deal that surpasses or matches the likes of Manchester United, who have been at the top of European football and globally for so long, Man City, Johnny come lately, and their sponsorship deal matches or near enough Manchester United and surpasses a lot of the other giants in European football. That was already suspicious. So it's like, well, who would pay that much for sponsorship if it was a genuine valuation of where the club is at, other than the owners of the football club? So I said, Sheikh Mansour's own company, Abu Dhabi Group, they paid 57 million, whilst Etihad's was only 8 million. Then Chumila sent invoices for Etihad internally to the city executives, Ferran Soriano and Simon Pearce, stating that for 2015-16, the Etihad sponsorship was £67.5 million, of which, and this is quotes, 8 million should be funded directly by Etihad and 59.5 by ADUG, which is the Abu Dhabi United Group. So that's 2 years, 2013-14 and 2015-16, where basically the owners of the club, under the guise of sponsorship, are funding the club. So why is it looks like the club is spending money that they've generated through sponsorships? That's not actually the case. They're spending money that has been pumped directly from the pockets of the owners. And that is not a sustainable business model, financial business model for a football club that UEFA are trying to promote. Whether you agree with it or not, where they're trying to promote through financial fair play. And by Man City stating that in 2 separate accounts at least, and then reporting that to UEFA to say that, no, we have met all your break-even regulations with regard to financial fair play, they lied. They basically lied. And because of because of Man City's unwillingness to cooperate with the investigations into that, because clearly, if you just based on the emails, clearly they look very guilty, and as far as UEFA is concerned, they are guilty. Because of their failure to comply with the regulations, they have come down very hard on them. Now, one of the issues was that these emails that were leaked were kind of one-way emails. We just saw an email going directly to officials at Manchester City, but we didn't see any emails the other way. Now, what UEFA asked for Man City was to say, all right, if you're saying that this is not the case, that these things weren't funded by the Abu Dhabi Group, then show us the email that responds to these emails saying, no, this is not the case. And for me, the reason why Man City didn't provide any emails to say the other to go the other direction, saying, no, this isn't the case. We're not, being funded. The sponsorship is not being funded by Sheikh Mansour or Abu Dhabi Group. It's because they are. Because if someone sends that email to you, there's always going to be a reply. You're not just going to see it and whatever. I'm not gonna respond to that. Such an email of that magnitude. Where's the email trail? And because Man City didn't want to submit that, it's kind of an admission of guilt. No, it's not. It doesn't prove that it's guilty, but it comes to, you know, a base of probability. And because Man City didn't submit any counter argument in that regard, then you kind of left UEFA to make a decision based on the information they have. You didn't provide any counter to it, so they can only deal with what they've been, what's been presented to them. And for them, it's clear that Man City have breached FFP. To me, I mean, it's clear Man City have breached it, because the sponsorship numbers they were announcing years ago did not fit into the size of the club globally. And I think for most of the football world, there's not going to be much complaints, because the way Man City have built themselves to where they are has been very unnatural, you might say. Now, there's an argument about whether FFP is right or wrong. Does it ruin football? Is it there to protect the big dogs? And that is an argument, one that might not have right now. Might save it for the podcast tomorrow. But it's one worth having, and one that many clubs have expressed. But as far as Man City is concerned, they will appeal this decision. I suspect that this appeal will go on for a number of months, meaning that they may well play in next season's Champions League. The ban may get reduced to 1 year, which means they will miss out on the 2021-22 Champions League season. What this means for Pep Guardiola, Man City, and the rest of the players at the club, I mean, I guess that waits to be seen. But as it stands, Man City have been banned from all UEFA competition for the next 2 seasons. Guys, let me know everything, all your thoughts on everything that we discussed in this video. Hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you.